Hi, welcome to the Maddie to the Max vlog talks. So last week I talked about the basic rules of reading fanfiction, but at the same time I also filmed something else that wasn't in that episode because as I was editing it I realized this is too long, nobody's gonna want to watch both of these. So I split it in half. So without further ado, here it is, my list of top 10 favorite fanfictions. Enjoy! Okay. Number 10, A Bounty on a Hunter is a castle supernatural crossover. Now the thing that I really like about this one is that it doesn't diverge from the plots of either of the actual stories. Of the castle story or the supernatural story. It merely brings them together in a nice little episode, then they go their separate ways. Really excellently done. Love it. While on one of the regular cases, Castle and Beckett hunting down a murderer, they end up finding the worlds of demons and the supernatural. Cue the Winchester brothers! Like I said, they bring it all together really nicely, really neatly, and then they go their separate ways, and it's all just wonderfully in character. It takes place in about season 3, I believe, of Castle, and season 5 of Supernatural. Number 9, The Rebellion. This is a continuation fanfic for Roswell. It takes place after the end of Roswell, and it picks up with the canon characters having gone their separate ways for their own protection, then being taken away to the alien planet which Max, Isabel, and Michael came from, and seeing what has happened in the time elapsed since they left that planet. Again, well written, in character, completely canon. Love it. It just continued the story in a way that I really, really enjoyed. And I really love it. It only has 6 chapters up so far, but it's still going on. It's kind of slow to update, but it is still going on. So that's a good thing. So check it out if you're a Roswell fan and want more of the story. Number 8, An Uncommon Witness. This is a Princess Tutu AU. Princess Tutu is an anime that is based around ballet. If you haven't watched it, I would suggest it because as far as animes go, I think it's pretty universal. It's a beautiful, heartfelt, touching story. This AU takes place in 1920, where the characters are all in the 1920s. Duck, or Haru, depending on which version of Princess Tutu you watch, the dubbed or the original Japanese, is a shopgirl who happens to witness a murder. And Fakir, who is a detective in the 1920s, is assigned to be her protector. She's placed in protective custody, well, sort of, she resists. So Fakir has to be sort of her unofficial bodyguard. And very begrudgingly, as in the show, they are very butting heads at first, but are coming together wonderfully. And this fanfiction is also continuing to go on, and I wait with bated breath for the next chapter because each one just puts more anticipation and then like a 6-month gap between each chapter because the chapters are massive. So, check it out. Number 7, Foundation of Sand. This one is a Prince of Persia continuation. Not full-fledged other story kind of a continuation. It's more like what happened after the end of the movie. This fanfiction is based off the Disney movie version of Prince of Persia, not the video games. I, for one, really enjoyed the movie, and I've never really played the game, so I can't really judge either way if it's bad or good, but I like the movie. So this fanfiction is really fabulous. This fanfiction takes place after the end of the movie, where Princess Tamina and Prince Destan kind of have a little chat about what happened in the future that didn't happen kind of deal. It's 3 chapters long. I've reread it multiple times. I wish there was more to it, but I'm so happy to have just a little bit that I do have of it. It shows Tamina not trusting him at first, but then eventually falling in love with him again as they continue to have to fix some of the leftover problems of turning back time. It's still wonderfully, beautifully in character. Number 6, Damn Demented Demons. This is a Harry Potter supernatural crossover. This one is massive and awesome and actually ended up having its own sequel. Right? Cool, huh? This one is not on fanfic.net. It is on Tumblr somewhere. I'll put the link in the description below. This takes place after the end of the books, but before the epilogue of Harry Potter. In Supernatural, it takes place after season 4, episode 10. Dementors have come to America, and who else to deal with the supernatural weirdom that follows Dementors than the Winchesters? But they have so much misery inside them. Can you imagine what would happen if Dementors got near them? Right? That's what happens. Luckily, the Aurors of the Ministry of Magic in London have come to their rescue. Cue Harry and Ron. They go on a wonderful thing of trying to figure out why the Dementors are here in America in the first place. Personally, I believe that they have always been in government, but that's just me. Like in the Castle supernatural crossover. It brings the characters together but doesn't interfere with any of their plots, and then they go their separate ways and continue. Also extremely good. Like I said, it has its own sequel, well worth checking out. I will also put that in the description below. Number 5! The Girl from Whirlpool. This is a Naruto fanfiction, but it doesn't revolve around Naruto. It revolves around Naruto's parents, Minao and Kushina. Starting from when they are children and first meet to growing up and falling in love and, you know, generally what is known. This fanfiction was started while the manga is still going on. I mean, the manga is still going on now, but less was known of it when the fanfiction was started. But even so, it still manages to keep up with how the story goes. There's a little flaws in it here and there, which aren't exactly lining up, but I don't hold it against it, that's for sure. Well written, a good pace of time. There's some points in it where I'm just like, come on, you're in love with her! Know it already. But it's from Minao's point of view, not Kushina's. So it keeps it very real and very true to the character, in my opinion, and I love it immensely. And the thing about this fanfiction is it made me such a massive Minao fan. It was like, dude, I saw a cosplayer of Minao at Anime Expo and I totally geeked out because it was like, oh my god, he's so handsome! It was good. Unfortunately, it hasn't updated since 2011. I'm like, what is going on? Why hasn't it updated? I mean, the last chapter ended. It could have been considered an ending, but on the description of the fanfiction it says that it is not completed, so I'm thinking that it's not completed. The person writing it must have just been busy with actual life stuff, because obviously their life probably doesn't revolve around writing a fanfiction for us on the internet. Anywho, moving on. Number 4, This Pendant Heart. This is another Princess Tutu fanfiction, but this is a continuation fanfiction. For all of you that have watched the end of Princess Tutu, you know that the ending is kind of... So this fanfiction continues the story and gives you a much happier ending, and it just sets everything right. Because again, it is incredibly in character and wonderfully paced, and it still has the pacing and writing that the actual show does. So that it just made me feel like I was watching the show. And also something very unique about this fanfiction that not many fanfictions actually have is that each chapter of this fanfiction has its own piece of cover art. I love it very much, and it just makes me feel very happy and much better about the way that the show ended. So for all you that need a better ending for Princess Tutu, read it! It sets everything right. Number 3, Throw Out the Script. This is a Merlin AU, kind of. For all of you that watch the BBC Merlin, you know that this show kind of goes in a direction that you're like, what? What are the writers doing? No! So I'm gonna give spoilers here, just letting you know I can't not to describe this fanfiction. Okay, BBC's Merlin. We all know that the real turning point in Merlin, where all things was past the point of no return and Morgana was forever gonna be evil, was the point when she came running, crying to Merlin, saying that she believed she has magic, and Merlin said,
I really wish there was something I could say.
When he had told every other person with magic that he had magic too, when it's Morgana, oh no, I'm not gonna tell you. That part really pissed me off. But luckily, in this fanfiction, they changed that. Make it so he doesn't be a total douche and just leave her high and dry with nothing and nobody and completely sinks slowly into darkness. He tells her that he has magic too. And that is the turning point. From that point on, Merlin and Morgana are bound together. The story is very true to that point. It keeps it very real as to what would have happened if that point had been changed. A lot of destinies would have been met a lot quicker. A lot less people would have died. Some people would have died sooner. And it shows a real dark side to Merlin that is in the show, but isn't ever really pointed out. And it also points out the fact that Morgana is a good person at heart. That's who Morgana is at the beginning. She was a good person, but was left with nothing and no one to trust or believe in. So she sunk into darkness. It really shows Morgana's true nature and what she would have been if she had somebody to help her and understand magic. This fanfiction sets a lot of things right in my mind when it comes to Merlin. Alright, number 2, Walls and Past. This is a Castle Firefly crossover. So Firefly and Castle, what is the connecting factor? Nathan Fillion! Yay! Basically what happens is 2012 New York City, when Castle is taking place, they are investigating a murder, as always, end up finding something odd, so Beckett, Castle, and Ryan and Javier get thrown into the future, when Earth that was no longer exists. They are now aboard Serenity and having to deal with the challenges of Castle's true identity and what it means for them. This is my second favorite fanfiction. I have reread this so many times I have lost count. Unfortunately, what has happened with this fanfiction is that it has been taken off fanfic.net because of Code Zero, which is when a fanfic is not properly rated and has much more mature content than what it has been rated as and is thereby deleted, which sucks. Luckily, I had already downloaded onto my Kindle, so I already had it, but the story was still in progress, so I'm like, ah! So if anybody knows where this fanfiction is, please let me know if it's on another site or is re-uploaded. I'm like looking everywhere, but I can't find it. If you find it sooner, let me know, please! And my number one favorite fanfiction is Mission X. Dun 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 dun. Mission X is a Yu Yu Hakusho X-Men Evolution crossover. In crossover fanfictions, some of them blend together so easily, it's like, yeah, duh, of course they would be in the same universe, so easy. Other ones, it's like, how the heck could that possibly fit into that universe? It's not possible. But then fanfiction does it. And that is the thing about Mission X that is wonderful. They combine two very different universes into one smoothly and seamlessly. It's fabulous. Yu Yu Hakusho is a fighter anime, basically. It's a very old one, but a very good one. In Mission X, Yusuke, Kurama, and Hiei go undercover at the Xavier Institute trying to find a rogue demon. Because of their unique powers, Cerebro picks them up believing that they are mutants. They're not mutants. So obviously they have different traits, but they're trying to hide it from the humans. Wonderfully written. Unfortunately, the thing that's bad about this fanfic is that it was dropped. Right at the middle of a cliffhanger, too. It's sad because the last time it was updated was in 2005. Like Walls and Past, I have reread this fanfiction so many times. And I desperately wish that it was continued. If by chance the author of Mission X is watching this, I just want to let you know, I love your fanfiction. And I know that you probably have a lot of stuff that's going on, but I really enjoy your work. And I would be so happy if you continued. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, with that in mind, thank you for writing what you did. I appreciate that. And that is the list of my top 10 favorite fanfictions. I know it was kind of long, but I felt like saying it. There you have it! What did you think? Do you like some of those fanfictions too? Are you wanting to check some of them out? Well, you can, because I put all the links to all the fanfictions that I talked about in the descriptions below. Check them out! And while you're at it, leave me a comment telling me whether or not you liked this video, if it was helpful at all, or if there's a subject that you want to have me talk about in the next vlog talk. So leave me a comment and I'll check it out. So from now until next week, don't forget to keep smiling!